What's going on, guys? Snake Eyes here, playing some more Dark Souls 2, and in this video we're going to be doing a weapon showcase, and the weapon we're going to be showcasing today is the Drakekeeper's War Pick. Now if you don't know how to get the Drakekeeper's War Pick, all you have to do is go to Dragon Shrine, farm the Drakekeepers that are using this weapon, and eventually you'll get it. I hear it's a pretty rare drop. It only took me about 3 or 4 tries to actually get it. I was actually really lucky in getting this one, but if it has the same drop rate as the Drakekeeper sword, then it is actually a pretty rare drop. But other than that, that's pretty much how you get this weapon, and we're gonna go ahead and switch over to PvP right now. Now the reason I'm switching over to PvP is mainly because it has the same moveset as a halberd, so pretty much me showing you that, I feel like I'd be wasting you guys' time. And as far as weapons that have the same type movesets, I won't be showing them, mainly because, like I said, I don't want to waste you guys' time. If people want me to start showing the moveset again, then I will, but for these next couple of episodes, I won't, mainly because I just want to show off a little bit more PvP, see if people like that, and if they still want the movesets to be shown again, then I'll go ahead and bring it back. But for the most part, these next maybe 3 or 4 episodes, I won't be doing it. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the details of this weapon. Its base damage is at 200, but since then I've actually upgraded mine to +9 and infused it with dark. So my base damage is at 266, and I also get 266 in dark damage. It has 100 counter strength, it does 35 poise damage per hit, it has 70 durability, and it weighs 20 pounds. The requirements for this weapon is that you need 40 strength and 14 dexterity, and you get a B scaling in strength and a B scaling in dark if you infuse it with dark infusion. Couldn't talk right there, but that's actually my bad. As far as the pros and the cons go, the cons, there aren't really too many of them. The main one that I can think of is that it has a dynamic hitbox, and what I mean by that is that you have to get your spacing right with this weapon. If you're a little too close, then you're not going to be hitting with the full damage. You're going to be hitting with the handle, and it's pretty much going to cut the damage in half. So a little practice is required if you want to use this weapon. The sweet spot is obviously the tip of the weapon, but you'd actually be surprised at how much practice it kind of takes to kind of get that little sweet spot and the spacing, especially in PvP where the opponent is constantly moving. It's definitely something that requires a little bit of practice, but once you get that locked down, it's actually really easy, and then when you get it locked down with this weapon, you're going to be doing some major damage. Another con to this weapon is that it is heavy, but if you're looking to use a great hammer weapon, then that's pretty much going to be expected. All the great hammers except for the Archdrake mace weigh pretty much 20 pounds plus, so be sure to have some points invested in vitality if you want to use this weapon. But since it is a strength weapon, I am assuming that you do have a couple of points invested in vitality, so that's really not much you have to worry about. But if you don't, then this is something you're going to have to plan for as far as the armor you're going to be using and other weapons that you want to bring into PvP. But pretty much it is well worth it. I really do like this weapon, and even though the weight is a con, I definitely recommend switching a couple of things around just so you can use this weapon, because it's pretty much that good. The pros to this weapon is that it has a halberd moveset. Now, at first glance, it looks like it's really heavy. It looks like it takes real long to swing, and the recover time might take its time. But being that it has a halberd moveset is actually really nice. I was actually really surprised at how fast it was swinging, and my recover time really wasn't that bad at all. And that kind of transitions into another pro. This is pretty much a halberd move, or a halberd weapon with a great hammer damage. Now obviously it is a little bit heavier than the halberds, but at the same time you're getting some really massive damage for trading it off with the weight. Now I think a regular halberd is at about 12 pounds, and for 8 more pounds and pretty much double in the attack rating, if you ask me, that's pretty much well worth it. That's another pro that I had kind of thought about, and like I said, if you're using halberds, or if you're used to using halberds and you kind of got that spacing locked down, then switching over to this weapon is actually really easy. You won't have any trouble with it, and for sacrificing a little bit in weight, you actually get a lot in damage. Another pro is that it actually has some really high crit damage. Now it does have 100 in the counter strength, but I was actually really surprised at how fast I was able to win these matches. Pretty much what you're seeing right now is a couple of matches that balled up together where I got a crit right off the bat and pretty much one-shotted these guys. And if you pay attention, some of these guys are actually wearing some really heavy armor. I think one of these guys was pretty much wearing all Havels, and I think the Gurm warrior helmet, and I backstabbed him and hit him for like around 2200. If you ask me, that's actually a lot of damage, and it ended the battle really quick. and this wasn't a one-off thing. I was actually getting it pretty often, so that's really something to think about. At the same time, I did notice that these guys probably didn't upgrade their armor, because I would land the same backstab damage, or I would land the same backstab on another person, and it only did about 600, and I think he was wearing some pretty medium armor, so that's kind of something to consider. It can fool you a little bit, but at the same time, to be able to one-shot people with heavy armor that don't upgrade it is actually a huge pro in my opinion. And like I said, with that kind of damage, you can't argue it. That is some pretty nice damage, and that's something that I really like. Another pro is that since it is a heavy hitting weapon, it actually guard breaks small and medium shields pretty easy. I was actually kind of surprised at how well I was able to keep my distance and pretty much just do an R1 and really guard break most of these people. Now, you do have to watch out with doing that, because since it is a little on the slow side as far as the attacking goes, people who are kind of getting used to what you're doing might have the feeling of parrying you, so that's something that you do have to watch out for. If you see that people are trying to parry you, then that's something that you need to kind of ease off of, and I think in one instance I actually did get parried, so that's kind of something you have to watch out for. I got parried when I was doing the running attack, and the running attack is actually really slow. Someone can pretty much parry you based on reaction. That's how slow it is, so that's, like I said, something you really have to watch out for. But if somebody really isn't making that attempt, then guard breaking these people are actually really easy, and you'll be surprised at how well and how fast it actually does it. One of the biggest pros that I feel like I really can't argue with is that it's pretty much able to end matches really quickly. Now, most of the wins that you see me getting right now aren't really long battles, and that's mainly because if I don't hit them with a crit or a parry, then the damage that I'm doing off of standard hits alone are a lot, and like I said, that's something that you really can't argue with. For people who are strength builds, I definitely recommend picking this up, because you'll be surprised at how fast and how quick you're able to end these matches. And if you're looking to do some massive damage, then this is something that you need to try out for a little bit, see if it fits your play style. It kind of transitions into another pro that I can think of, and that's that it does have the spin to win, the two-handed running attack, and I think the two-handed strong attack. A lot of people kind of don't like the spin to win, but at the same time, that is something you can use. I used it, I think, once or twice, mainly for people who are trying to heal, and that's when it actually does its best, because if they're running away and they're getting their space and they're trying to heal, more often than not, you're trying to run towards them, and if you go ahead and just press triangle and you switch from one hand to the two, all you need to do from after you're running is obviously just press R1, and if you hit them once, they're probably not going to be able to roll out of that, and if you land all 3 hits, that's pretty much going to guarantee that you have killed them. I think I do have a match like that somewhere that you're probably going to see, and if not, then you probably already seen it. And like I said, that's one pro for me, but at the same time, it's really easy to parry, so that's something you have to watch out for. Use it conservatively, and like I said, I only really use it when people are trying to run away and heal, mainly because that's when it's appropriate. All in all, I actually had some real fun with this weapon. I tried to stay away from the really heavy weapons, and I kind of just try to hold them off for last. But when I picked up this weapon and I actually fooled around a little bit, I was really surprised and really actually pleased that it did have a halberd moveset. Lately, I've been using a lot of weapons that drain a lot of stamina and have some pretty slow recovery time. And picking up this weapon, I kind of had the same damage that I was doing overall, and still was able to maintain my stamina and pretty much not have to worry too much about recovery time. So if you're looking for a different type of weapon to use, especially if you're a strength build, I definitely recommend picking this up, trying it out. I'm pretty sure you'll be really surprised at how well you will do with it. But all in all, that's pretty much it. There's really not much I can think of. Try this weapon out, pick it up. If you do, let me know how it goes. If you have any cons that I probably didn't mention, feel free to leave them in the comments below, because I'm pretty sure that there are something that I haven't thought of. And for people who are genuinely interested in trying this out, I'm pretty sure they kind of want to weigh their options before they pick it up. But like I said, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, take care.